We got to talk about conspiracy theories, my friends. Do you guys believe that the NBA is rigged? Rudy Gobert does. Rudy Gobert, after the game in Phoenix the other night, said that he believes that the NBA is set up to support the big teams.
Right.
And that small market teams, I don't know, like the Minnesota Timberwolves, yeah, we're not wanted here.
Right.
The Utah Jazz, nah, they don't want us here. Do you believe the officials rig it in favor of the big market teams?
I think I'm not going to sit here and say that and use the word rigged. I'm not going to sit here and say that, the NBA has meetings every day in their back office somewhere talking about how, they need this team to win or that team to win or what. Like, I'm not doing that. And frankly, I'm sick and tired of a guy who is not an influential player in the NBA running his mouth about it. You notice the guys who run their mouths about the NBA being rigged are the same guys who can't get their own bucket, are the same guys who couldn't get the job done in Utah, are the same guys that are just not winners. And I understand. If we want to talk about free throw discrepancies, I'm here for that because the numbers pan that out.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and say that the NBA is rigged and that Rudy Gobert is getting whistled or not getting whistled. The play that he's all pissed off about is a play where he was backing down Devin Booker and the official blew the whistle on him. It was a good call, right? Like he fouled Devin Booker.
Well, it was the elbow swing. Rudy had the ball and the bigger issue is, one, Rudy's a much bigger player than Devin Booker, right? So Devin's trying to body him up and keep him out of the restricted area. Rudy Gobert is like swatting Devin Booker away with his arm, and the play's in front, and Rudy's just swatting Devin away. Then the ball comes into Gobert, and he swings an elbow and hit Book in the chest. That's an offensive foul. And you know what the worst part of it is? It looks like an offensive foul. And Rudy's not a polished player offensively, so he doesn't understand to keep his elbows in. He doesn't understand that you got to have that ball up here and your elbows in here when you turn. That you got to use your shoulder, not your elbow.
Yeah.
So they're going to blow the whistle on that because that's what officials look for.
Yeah.
I don't buy this for a second.
And by the way, she was in perfect position to make that call.
Absolutely she was.
Like the angle was proper. Like
right on the sideline, looking right at it.
I just get tired of dudes like Rudy constantly bitching about officiating. Like how about we talk about the fact that you still can't make a jump shot? How about we talk about the fact that you're not, a guy who anybody wants to play with? Like I'm so tired of guys like Rudy Gobert talking a load of junk. You notice that, like, I'm cool. LeBron, if you want to complain about it, fine. Great. Cool. Take your fine. Cool. Kevin Durant, you want to talk about it, fine. Best players in the league can talk about it. But if you're not an MVP candidate, if you're not someone who's dominated this league for 15, 20 years. Like,
preach!
Like, stop talking. I don't want to hear from you. You are not Anthony Edwards. You are not even close to the best player on your team, but as usual, you are the highest paid player on your team or one of. So I just I'm tired of him being like, oh, well, the NBA is rigged and they're out to get me. Out to get you because you've done so much in the league. Like, come on, dude.
I think it's an issue for bigs in this league. Honestly, if we're truth-telling about these allegations from Rudy Gobert, I think big guys always get shorted in this league. It's a wing league now, right? And trust me, as somebody who plays in the post a lot in pickup, I get fouled every play.
But that's precisely my point. This goes all the way back to schoolyard basketball.
Yes.
Bigs never get all the calls they should get because you're a big, because that's the nature of the game. And Rudy Gobert feels like, hey, I'm some premier player that should get, like all these calls. And it's like, no, you're not. That's your opinion. But the league stats and the numbers and on a nightly basis, your performance says you're not one of the best players in the league. And that's why I say, yes, if you want to talk about free throw discrepancies, the Los Angeles Lakers have a ridiculous amount of free throw attempts this year. But I'm not going to sit here and say that Adam Silver and his bald head are in the back room making lines. I'm not doing that.
He does look like Taylor Swift. And that they both look like E.T.
Okay.
I'm just throwing that out there. Salty Drunk says, what a crock. Are you saying you can't comment on officials unless you're a superstar? Stop. No, I think you haven't earned the right to bitch and moan and call the league fixed.
Yeah.
You haven't earned that right. And I think, listen, let's be honest. There have been, legacy-wise, it's not good for the NBA officials. It isn't. With the Tim Donaghy stuff, and Tim's a good friend of the show. We've had him on a ton of times. Like, I like Tim a lot. He cheated the league. I mean, there's just no doubt about that. And I think that when you look at the allegations that Tim made, I believe him. I think they do call trends. They do decide who's going to win and lose games based on what's good for the NBA. They want a seventh game. You're going to get a seventh game. Frankly, I just think that's normalized now. But for Rudy Gobert to be creating controversy over this is stupid. It is. And Brent, you're not wrong. Gobert gets hammered. Happens to big guys all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
The difference is, you want to know what the difference is, Rudy? The difference is Joel and Jokic can go out and get their own. Kristaps Porzingis can go out and get his own.
Yes.
Mitchell Robinson can go get his own.
You're
right. The only one that can't go and get his own. Yet you're the only one bitching about officiating. So I'm just over it with Rudy Gobert because now the time has come and gone when it was like, oh, he's the best player on the Jazz. It was Donnie. It wasn't Rudy.
Yeah.
That time is gone now, right? We're in a place where, hey, you're not going to sit here and say, oh, well, it's Karl Anthony Towns' fault or it's Anthony Edwards' fault or whoever you want to. It's Naz Reid's fault, even though he's not playing now.
Yeah.
Like, we're past that now.
All right. By the way, real quick before we get to your comments, I want to do Monty Makes You Money. Being red hot right now, being really, if we're true to, I'm 3-0, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys owe me a ton of cash.
Right.
So let's do our big bets because we're tipping off in the NBA here. Jazz and Celtics tonight, 13.5. You guys, I said the number. It was 13.5 in favor of the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, should take the Jazz in this game to cover the 13.5. Because there's not a chance on God's green earth that Boston is as hot as they were last night in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
That's just not going to happen.
That's a dangerous bet, dude. Because the problem is the Jazz are volatile.
Well,
sometimes they'll lose by 20, but other times they'll cover that number.
I get it. But Larry Markkinen is not playing tonight, which is a little trepidation. So, if you're putting ducats down, I'm telling you to bet the Jazz tonight. But my lock of the night, the Monty Makes You Money call, baby, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Cleveland Cavaliers to cover the -3. At home against the Knicks, 220 is the number. Take the Cavs to cover the 3.5. It goes over the 220. Julius Randle is out for the Knickerbockers.
Yeah.
I'm all about this. I'm all night on the Cavs tonight. -3.5, 220.5. I'm taking the Cavs to win that game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, I think the Cavs cover that as well. They win by more than 3.5.
Yep.
And I think the only question I have is the over-under. And the only reason I have some question on this is because Julius is out. So is Quickly going to have a 40-pointer? Is RJ Barrett good for 25? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's where I'm like, oh, hey, like you got to have 110 points if you're the Knicks. So we'll see about that.
Oh, no. Contraire. You
guess you need 107 technically.
You could have 120 out of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Because I'm telling you, Julius is the center of the universe on that team.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't want to listen. And you know what the thing that scares me about the Knicks tonight?
Yeah.
Who are they going to have to rely on?
Yeah, Buddy.
RJ Barrett.
Yeah, RJ Barrett.
And that's terrifying. That's terrifying to me. Let's see. Shahaya says, I stumbled on your show over a month ago and have been hooked ever since I became a $1.99 member just now. Keep up the great work, guys. Shahaya, we appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Thank you to everybody who joins our membership. If you'd like to become a member of the program, you can just smash that join button or there. I put the link in there for you. By the way, I did see our first Twitch comment come through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like at almost the beginning of the show.
Oh, okay.
We do stream on Twitch every day.
We simulcast it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's on YouTube and on Twitch at the same time.
For one of our 2 Twitchers. Hello.
Yes. Hello. Let's see. Ken Williams says, I don't gamble.
Well,
Okay,
well, none of
that's
us
cool.
gamble. None of us gamble.
This is
Yeah,
all
then we don't-
recreational.
Ken,
What are
we
you
don't
talking
gamble.
about?
Yeah, I mean,
Gambling?
Yeah.
What?
Idiots.
Bill G says, not a gambler here either.
I'm not either.
Me either. DeLambo says, THT for a 50 bomb.
Oh,
Stop.
come on, dude. You're
Stop.
not on the THT train, are
Stop.
you, bro? A squirrel finds a nut once in a while, okay?
Greg Hawkins says, I don't gamble, ... anymore. You know. Hawkins says, when I started losing $400 a hand at Baccarat, that's when I knew I should never gamble again.
Yeah.
Truck Stop Gumby says, I only gamble at casinos. Brent Burnett says, Boston will lose, going to rest players. Boston will lose? The Great Dane. I can't keep saying it like that. The Great Dane.
The Great Dane.
I can't say it that way either. Dane. I love going to Wendover 3 or 4 times per year, but I almost never bet basketball. The problem is it feels like it's a 10-hour drive.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a 10-hour drive. Real quick, a side note. We have the Marlins-Mets game on in the background.
Yeah.
The Marlins are wearing their throwback teal hats.
Dude, they're crispy.
I love those. I'm going to get one of
Crispy.
those hats. I am going to get one of those hats. By the way, the Marlins are going to be a playoff team this year.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
They're sneaky good. Burnett says, Jazz play hard and these players want contracts. Bet the Jazz. Boston will lose. I'm telling you, bet the Jazz tonight. That's not my lock, but I'm telling you to bet the Jazz to get under that number. The only thing that makes me nervous is Markkanen's not playing. So, let's see. Doesn't Amoranth, I don't know who that is, stream on Twitch? Sure, if you say so. Ken Williams says mid, Monty. What do you mean mid? It's in Boston, so there's that. It is.
Yeah.
C. Ganell says, I gambled, but I never won. I love it. Honestly, I like, do you know what my favorite thing to play is? Daily fantasy. I'm a huge fan of daily fantasy.
Why is daily fantasy not a thing?
I don't know.
Like, why is that such an outlandish thing in this state?
I have no idea, but daily fantasy is legal in this state, and I think it's a blast. It is absolutely a blast. Carrie Lee said, add Discord to your Twitch channel.
Hey, a Twitcher.
A Twitcher, okay. What's up, Carrie Lee? See?
Carrie Lee.
Comment on Twitch.
Holy cow.
What
Maybe-
now? Let me tell you what now.
Carrie, maybe you need to tell me what Discord is. And maybe I
We
will
know
do
what
that.
Discord is. We just don't do it.
Greg Hawkins, isn't it sad that everyone in Utah has to drive to Wendover to have fun at a casino? People from Wendover should be coming to Salt Lake City to play table games. Dude, and this is, I'm serious about this. It is a travesty in this town that we can't have legalized gambling.
Yeah.
And this show has exploded. For those of you who are new here, like we were looking at our numbers today. You guys, we're at almost 16,000. Is it 15,000? We're at almost 15,000 subscribers.
Subs.
Right? We have picked up so much business in the last year. Right? We're at 14,665 subscribers.
Yeah.
On YouTube. Please subscribe. Like the show. We appreciate it. That's why when you guys hit the like button, it really helps us. We were looking at shows where we had 30 people watch the show in 3 hours.
You're casual.
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
Our show now, we do probably 5,000-6,000 people a show. And we're truly a national show. And it makes me crazy that the place I live will not allow me to place a bet if I want to. Won't let me do it. And I'm not a huge gambler, but dude, the one thing I can do here that I like is play daily fantasy.
Yeah.
I do. You know what, Seganell? You joke. Utah people keep the Idaho lottery going.
Dude, you're not wrong, bro. You are not wrong.
I go. Mrs. Monty and I make that drive.
Idaho, the Ken Williams, Wyoming.
No, you're a hoe. You're a hoe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wyoming, I love Evanston. You know. I was one of the 30 LOL. You were. Salty drunk, and we appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Tom says, really skyrocketed once they started talking Utes. Go Utes. There you go. But see, we've always been Pac-12 fans.
Yeah.
So, does Utah have legalized weed? It does not. Can't do that either. The one thing I gamble on is my wife's mood. Seriously.
Damn.
Seriously. My wife is getting back on the snowboard tomorrow.
What do you think of that?
I'm excited. I miss snowboarding with her.
I miss snowboarding in general.
Period. We've had all this snow and we have not. Royal Payne says, bro, you actually are a big gambler. Just kidding. I don't know what you mean.
Big gambler.
Indy will cover the line, no SGA. What's the line? Let's look at the Indy game.
Yeah, let's look at the Indy game.
The Indy game just underway, 4-2, the Thunder.
The Thunder.
OKC's -6, 243.
How long are they saying SGA is going to be out, by the way? I mean, what are we talking about here?
You know, it was supposed to be day to day. It was supposed to be. And it's turned into like week to week now.
Yeah.
Which is a huge problem. And I know that, listen, is SGA playing tonight? He's not on their injury report.
Yes, he is. He is.
He is playing.
He is
tonight.
playing tonight.
So he is back.
He is back.
He is back. Which is, I'm telling you,
Yes.
Kenrick Williams is out. That wrist injury. Chet Holmgren's still out with the foot. He'll never play again.
Chet is very frustrating, dude.
He is very frustrating. My point is, if SGA plays, I take OKC. He has to play.
Yeah.
If you look at the numbers in the NBA right now, the West is flipping ridiculous.
Yeah.
You have the Jazz are 15 out. The Mavericks are 14 and a half out. OKC's 13 and a half out. The Jazz are a game and a half out in the West.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, New Orleans is at 39 wins. OKC's at 38. New Orleans is 7. OKC's 10th.
I'd like to see the Jazz get one playing game. I'd like to see that.
I don't think it's going to happen, frankly. I mean, they're not pushing to. Yeah. They're not pushing to do any of that.
Yeah.
Salty Drunk says cancel that bet. That's what I'm saying. You should have bet the Thunder tonight.
Yeah.
If you was smart, that's what you would have done.
Yeah.
But anyway, my point is, no, the NBA is not rigged. By the way,
Pisses me off, dude.
What pisses you off?
That these guys who have one-dimensional games trying to say the NBA is rigged because they're not getting a call or they're getting calls against them or like I don't know. I have no doubt that officials have opinions on players and officials go out and officiate the game a certain type of way. But did that ever stop LeBron?
No.
Did that ever stop Kevin Durant? Did that ever stop Kobe? Did it ever stop Karl Malone? Did it ever stop John Stockton? Hell, did it ever stop Donovan Mitchell, who's the youngest player to get to 10,000 points?
No.
No, it didn't. So shut your mouth and learn how to shoot a basketball, then come and talk to me.
By the way, do you believe the Celtics can catch Milwaukee for the first spot? I don't think they can.
How far back are they?
2 games. And what, have got 6 left?
Probably not. No, there's just not enough time.
Yeah, I think you're out of time.
I mean, but again, I also think, I mean, if you have the standings up by chance? Let's look at the standings.
They have 5 games left.
So so right now, it would be Boston and Brooklyn.
It would be
2-6,
Boston.
Right?
It'd be Boston, Miami, 2-7.
2-7.
2-7. And you'd have Milwaukee, Atlanta, Philly, and the Knicks. Let's see. It'd be Milwaukee, Atlanta, Boston, Miami. It would be Brooklyn, Philly. It'd be Cleveland, New York. Cleveland and New York. And it's going to be Cleveland and New York.
Yeah.
Which that series is going to be crazy.
This is what we want.
So, I don't know, man. I think the NBA is really healthy. I do. And by the way, what do you make of the Lakers in Minnesota tonight?
I think that's a hell of a game. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be crazy.
I think the Lakers are playing decent basketball. But again, it's a consistency game at this point, and I'm tired of we're trying to figure it out. Well, you got like 3 games left, so might want to get going.
Yeah, I think it is. There's just something off about OKC. And Salty Drunk, please don't lose your shit over it. But there's just something off about OKC.
Well, I think what they're fighting is that they're still a younger team. I mean, you're still in that phase of the build and the development where, you have these 2 guys in SGA and Giddey who can be a threat for sure. But it feels like your team is lacking that one guy that kind of brings it all together and makes it flow right.
Well, Jalen Williams certainly has been a nice pickup for them.
Yeah.
I mean, he certainly has given them everything that you want. And I also think that Jalen Williams, if he had picked this up early in the year, he might be pushing for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
But Banchero has been so crazy, and Walker Kessler's been even better. As a story, it's gonna be interesting to see. If I had to guess right now, if I was wagering right now in the West, I think Dallas gets in, the Jazz and OKC do not. And I hate Dallas. I don't like their attitude.
I feel more comfortable saying OKC's in over Dallas. I think Dallas is so dysfunctional at this point that.
Yeah, but Dallas, I think Dallas has a tough schedule. At Miami, at Atlanta, Sacramento, Chicago, and
dude.
San Antonio.
That's tough sledding that's Dallas' schedule.
Yeah.
That's tough sledding for Dallas,
But
dude.
3 straight at home to end the season. And, if we're being totally honest about it, I think OKC has just an absolute intestinal destroying schedule.
Well,
I mean, if you look at their last 5,
Indiana, Phoenix, Golden State.
at Golden State, at Utah, Memphis.
Yeah.
Bro, tonight's a must-win if they're going to make the playoffs.
Tonight and the Jazz are the must-wins.
Yeah, because I don't see them.
And then those other 3.
If Kevin Durant finds a way to stay healthy,
He'll be fine. Yeah.
Stop, salty drunk. Jalen is not ahead of Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler has been historically good.
Okay.
I mean,
James, how much Jazz basketball are you watching, man?
I don't think you're watching a lot.
I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but seriously, that take tells me, I don't know where you get the idea that he's ahead of Walker. Walker Kessler is Walker Kessler's already better than Rudy Gobert was, in my opinion.
Walker Kessler is arguably the steal of the offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, he has been not even the defense is what is defining Walker. But whatever happened the last 10 games where he's just been an absolute rim runner.
Yeah.
And he's just destroying bros at the rim, man.
Yep.
With that performance against Sacramento, there's not a chance that Jalen Williams is ahead of him.
No.
There's just.
And I'm telling you, and again, I'm going to say
that'd
the same
be shocking.
thing. I'm going to say the same thing to Walker Kessler that I said to Rudy Gobert, and I'm still saying to Rudy Gobert. You need to lift weights and you need to develop a jump shot.
And Walker's got a jump shot. We've seen it now. We've seen the jumper a little bit.
Yeah, but it needs to keep going. It needs to keep going. It needs to get to a place where he can do what Ayton does for the Suns.
Yep. And Salty Drunk says, look at the numbers. And right back at you, how much OKC basketball are you watching? A lot, actually.
Yeah.
A lot. And we've talked about this on a daily basis. That team goes as SGA goes.
Yes.
Because they don't have a number 1 behind him. So when he plays, they win. When he doesn't, they lose. And when SGA's out of the lineup, they're a battle-hard, try-hard team that doesn't have a closer. When he's in the lineup, they're a much different, more dynamic team.
Yeah.
But, with all due respect, it is, you look at Jalen Williams, and, yeah, he's averaging 14 points and 4 boards. And if I asked you right off the top of your head, do you know Walker Kessler's numbers? And if you look at Walker Kessler, he is 9 points, 8 boards, shooting 72% from the floor.
But that's the season average.
And
I think you got to look at the last 25 games.
But he's averaging 3 blocks a game. He's averaging 2 blocks a game on the road. And if you look at his performance, if you look at his game log, if you just look at Walker Kessler's game log, just look at the block games, dude. 7, 3, 5, 3, 3, 3, 5, 4, 5, 7, 3. It's every single night. He's averaging, for the month of March, he's averaging 3.3 blocks a game, 13 points, 3.3 blocks a game, and 10 boards. He's averaging a double-double on top of the 3 blocks. And by the way, I would remind you, he's been averaging a double-double every month, March and February, and in January, he averaged 9.5 rebounds, or he'd have had a double-double, right? The guy's had an unbelievable season. And again, when you look at Rookie of the Year, it's Paolo Banchero's award. Nobody's taken that from him. But there is no doubt that Walker Kessler is a superstar of the rookie class. He is, and not the superstar, the darling of the rookie class. Everybody's enamored with him.
Yeah.
Because his growth has just been so stupid, man. There's no way to project that. Jalen's been good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, as you call him J-Dub, I'm not saying he's not been good.
And by the way, we're also comparing a 7-footer to a guy who's 6'8", which I know seems small, but I think it's a big deal.
Yeah, they play two totally different positions.
Yeah.
They're on two totally different teams.
So again, I don't want this to turn into we're saying OKC sucks or they're not good or what. I'm just saying Walker Kessler is clearly just had this ridiculous rookie season.
Yeah, I just think that the biggest issue for OKC is if they don't have SGA, they don't win. And again, I think this coming summer, Josh Giddey and Chet Holmgren have to take huge jumps forward.
Yeah.
Josh Giddey's got to go get in those pickup games. Josh Giddey's got to stay here, get in those pickup games, get into whoever his skills coach is going to be. And he's got to grow and he's got to develop.
Yeah.
Because there's no other there's just no other way to look at that, quite honestly. And there's no way to look at this as our last shout out for Bucked Up this week. The last shout out for Bucked Up of the month of March.
Yeah, how are we looking? Did we break the record?
We did not break the record. We're close though. We're close. With 150 people watching, if you have not gotten the Bucked Up free samples yet, go down in the description of this show, get the Bucked Up free samples. If we could get 10 more, 20 more, that'd be great. If you haven't gotten it, please take advantage of it. There are 3 free samples, and we're trying to really pump those numbers up. They're rookie numbers. Let's go.
Yeah.
We love our guys at Bucked Up. One of our favorite sponsors. We talk about it all the time. We talk about them all the time. And we've had a pretty impressive March. Like, we're on the route to really doing something significant at Bucked Up. So if you haven't, please take advantage of it. It is always awesome to watch the way you guys support the show. Literally, it's 3 free samples, whether it's their pre-workout, their BCAAs, their electrolytes, you name it, they have it. And I would tell you, listen, get the 3 free samples, get the free shaker cup. You can get any color combination you want. They send it right to your front door. The other thing is, use the promo code Monty to get 20% off at checkout. At Bucked Up, the official energy provider of the Monty Show.
Yeah.
If you use the promo code Monty, it saves you significantly at Bucked Up. It is a big, big deal that they really take care of our listeners. So hook it up, Bucked Up, the official energy drink of the Monty Show. Get your free samples below. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% at checkout. Okay. Can we rail on Gwyneth Paltrow now?